So, can we talk? Hey everyone, it's me. So, over the last week, or however long it's been since I did this, I decided that I'm going to move this back to me just talking. And we're going to do a different podcast with everyone that won't be as frequent, but yeah. So, this one's going to be just me. I might change the name of it or something, I don't know. But yeah, so today's my last day of the first week of working days for the first time in nearly 2 years. And it's weird, and I realized why I didn't want to work days anymore. The dysphoria is real, people. Holy fuck. When you are constantly called sir and brother and guy, and have people say, oh, well, you're a guy, you should know these things. Like, it's so just, whatever. It's gonna happen no matter what, so I'll just deal with it, but it sucks a lot. Yeah, it's definitely a thing that I'm having to deal with right now. Yeah, but work has been interesting. Like, my legs are destroyed from all the walking I do, because I walk to work and usually walk home from work, and then I walk all day at work anyway, and so I'm walking like 20-something thousand steps a day, and I'm not used to that. I'm used to walking like around the store a bit and putting things up and that kind of stuff all day, and yeah, I'm like physically kind of fucked right now. And on top of that, I think I'm getting sick today, so I woke up, my stomach's killing me, my head hurts, and I feel gross. So yeah, oh well. Besides all of that, I don't really know what's been up. Videos have been going up regularly. Working on still trying to coordinate everything with Hunted for whenever we can get that up. I'm not sure. Yeah, having multiple people in multiple time zones doing their stuff all over and still having lives is detrimental to organization. Yeah, other than that, like, not a lot has been up this week. Oh, I finished Alan Wake. You know what? I'll talk about that, because Alan Wake made me really mad. And not because the gameplay was terrible. Not because the animations were disgusting. Not because the main character was actually just an irredeemable asshole who I hated not even by the end, like 2 episodes in I didn't like him, let alone by the end. I just didn't like him. He was just a dick. But the thing that made it a irredeemable game for me, and actually the thing that on Tuesday, as long as I can get today's episode up at some point, Tuesday you'll see why I quit. I mean, I finished the main story of the game, but there's 2 extra parts and then there's an expansion. But I quit within 10 minutes of starting the first of the special chapters, because holy fuck, I know the game isn't nearly that much now. I actually don't even know how much the game is on PC now. But when the game came out, it was a $60 like full retail game. And they charge $60 for that. This thing is full of branding. I mean, it's still $30 right now. $30 on Steam. This game is from 2010. It came out in 2012 on PC. It is full of like just way too ridiculous branding. Like, I can understand that the one that made sense was the Energizer. That was fine. It wasn't super obvious. Like, you had to really look at the battery packages and stuff to really see it. But the Verizon branding was just disgusting. Like, they have they have TVs that will play a show called Night Springs. It's like a how do you explain that? It's like what's that one old show now? My brain is not working. It's 5:46 in the morning when I'm recording this. Twilight Zone. Wow. It's like Twilight Zone, where it's just like random little stories, and they're live action. They're really super poorly like dubbed, and they're actually kind of interesting. I found them super charming. But at one point I turned on one of the TV and it was literally just a Verizon ad. That's all it was. It was just a Verizon ad that played, and then it turned back off. That's all it gave me. It gave me a straight up television Verizon ad in a video game. And that didn't even get me to quit. But then there's a part in the first thing where you make a phone appear. When the phone appears, they make sure that Verizon logo is front and center and clearly visible, and then it flips over and lands, and you see another big Verizon logo, and then it says V2 Navigator, Verizon, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just right in your face. And if you're going to charge $60 for a game, you should not be putting that blatant of advertising into it. Like, there's a reason that I don't go see movies because of the same thing. Like, there's so much product placement in movies nowadays. I don't go see them because it's fucking boring. It's like, okay, well, half the movie is going to be them putting, like, an Apple logo or whatever, or Android or Motorola or whoever logo, because you have to make sure that phone is front and center and stuff. And it's just really, I don't know, like, don't charge full price if you're going to get a shit ton of funding from an advertiser. Like, I understand if your game is not doing well or something, and I can understand if you need money during development. Like, I get that. But then release your game at $40 when it releases instead of $60. And don't continue to charge $30 5 years later. Or, I guess, 3 years later for the PC version. Which, I will give them this. The PC port was very well done. I had 0 bugs in the game. Actually, well, no. I think I did have one at one point where I fell through the world. But that was one thing. Like, then that happens in every game. I can excuse that. So, like, I mean, the PC port was very well done. It worked perfectly fine with mouse and keyboard and controller. So, hey, Remedy, keep going with that. But, damn, learn how to make a non-clunky, horrible combat system and try to make something that isn't just disgustingly full of advertisements. Like, I got out of a cutscene, like one of the final cutscenes where you're deciding to go off alone, and it spawns me pretty much directly in front of a big Verizon billboard. Which I immediately, of course, unloaded half a thing of revolver rounds into, because fuck that. But just, and I was talking about it with Van and Eli yesterday, and you know, it wouldn't be even so bad if they had at least put some other advertising in. Like, if it had looked like it was an actual world, I don't care. Like, Burnout Paradise did that very well. Like, there's multiple ads around. They're only on billboards. It's not just shoved right in your face. Like, I know there's Vizio ads and some other stuff. There's a bunch of different. There's like 5 or 6 different ads around the game. But that, at least in a game where you're driving around a very detailed, well-built city, you're not really looking at the billboards all the time. Like, sometimes I'd park and wait for a car to come by so I could trash it or something, but most of the time I was moving fast enough to where I barely noticed them, if I did at all. And there was enough of them to keep the variety up to where it didn't feel like it was just like, oh hey, I'm going to take this Verizon-shaped hammer and beat you across the face with it. And that's what it felt like with Alan Wake. Verizon and Energizer everywhere. Which, again, I can excuse the Energizer. You needed batteries. Hey, make a deal for your fucking batteries in the game. Get a little extra money for development. That's fine. But the Verizon thing is what bothered me. It just felt so fucking forced. And it made me just really like the game that much less. I already had a lot of issues with the game. And then that happened. And I'm just like, oh, Okay, yeah. Nah, I'm done. Oh, and they quoted the "Can you hear me now" guy. That was the final straw for me. That's when I was like, no, I'm done. I quit. I just quit the game. Because there's only so many things that I can do with. God. But yeah, so I don't know. Dysphoria sucks, and it's really hard. I like the internet because people actually use the right gender and pronouns for me there. I'm fine with that on the internet, because if somebody doesn't, I can correct them. But I can't at work, because even though I have laws in this state saying, hey, yeah, you can't fire somebody for gender expression, it's still one of those things where I just don't feel like dealing with it. This isn't really the best world to deal with that kind of crap in, so... I don't know. Yeah. Should I tell another story? What have I told? What stories have I told on here? I don't know. Did I tell the one about my manager sticking her arm into the fryer at work back when I worked at McDonald's? Because that was... I mean, it's a short story. I guess I can tell it again, just in case. So, working at McDonald's, my first legal job. I'd worked, like, construction and done, like, random bullshit before then, like, under the table. But, McDonald's was my first, like, hey, yeah, you're on the payroll, here's a paycheck kind of job. I had a manager, her name was Lucy, really nice lady. She dropped her wedding ring. Like, she was just playing with it on her finger idly while we were talking about something, and she dropped it, and it fell into one of the deep fryers, and she, without thinking, reached in and grabbed it. Like, it was just like a automated response from her. She's like, oh, I dropped my wedding ring, better pick it up before I lose it, and just stuck her arm up to about halfway up her forearm into the deep fryer. That was not a good thing, and to her credit, she didn't say anything. She just pulled her arm back out and went, shit. And, got some gauze, wrapped it around there, and just said, hey, I'm going to the hospital. And, went to the hospital. I mean, that was it. So, it was just, it's weird how humans will do that. Like, we have this instinct to just immediately pick up something that we know is precious to us. And we will forget about the possible dangers involved, which were definitely involved there. And she had, like, pretty bad burns, and it took weeks for her to heal up, but that's just it's just one of those things. It's just like, oh, well, that sure as fuck was a thing that happened. I had a lot of shit happen there. Man, that McDonald's was bad. Still not as bad as Texas, though. Working at the Home Depot in Texas was really bad. I just about died like 7 times there. What have I told? Have I told about the time I split my skull open down there? I swear I was doing this podcast last year when I dislocated my knee at the one up here. Did I tell about the time I broke my arm? Or fractured it, I should say. Shit. Did I tell about the time that I got my hand crushed and broke a knuckle? I have so many stories just from one store. So my skull got all fucked up because I was helping a customer pick up, I think they were 2x8s, 16 foots. Yeah, that seems about right. They're 16-foot 2x8s, and I was helping a customer pick those up. And customer, like, drops one, so it falls, hits me, and I was like, ow, and I stood up quickly, forgetting that the metal cantilevers, which are essentially just I-beams, they're just I-beams, really, that we set shit on. Forgot one was right behind and above me, and I slammed the back of my head really hard into it, to where it fractured my skull and split my skin open. I ended up needing stitches and had to go to the hospital. I was off work for like 3 weeks because of it. It sucked. But yeah, that was a thing. Broke a knuckle by getting a 16-foot 4x4 dropped on it by a customer. I had my hand on the cantilever, was trying to pull one out. The customer dropped his end, and it fell and came down on my hand and busted one of my knuckles in my left hand. That sucked. One time I was trying to flat stack the wood in... down in Texas, it would have been the second aisle, the aisle to the left of the main lumber aisle. It was just like the 1-bys and shit like that. And the yellow ladder I was on, because Home Depot has two types of ladders. You have the little yellow rolly ladders that customers can use, and you have the big ass orange ladders that only employees can use because they get up higher and shit. Well, I was on one of the yellow ones, and they're not even ladders, they're just mobile staircases, really. But I was on one of the shorter, like, little 4-step ones, and just trying to flat stack some of the stuff, so bringing some of the wood that was, like, too far back in the home for people to reach properly forward. And the ladder broke, gave out under me, and I fell with my arm between a bunch of 1-bys, and it went through, and I fell down, and my arm, near my elbow, came down really hard on a stack of wood, and my wrist, the half of my wrist was underneath more wood, and so it was heavy enough to where it kept me suspended, and it also fractured my arm. So that was fun. I broke multiple toes before I got my steel toe boots. Thank you again, Amanda. I broke my fingers a few times. Oh, I got my finger sliced down to the bone by a piece of plywood. That sucked. I'm gonna have to put a trigger warning at the beginning of this one for injuries. Yeah, I was trying to help a customer get some OBS, and I had my hand on, like, just below it, and I was trying to pull it forward while the customer pushed towards me, and it caught on the cuticle of my left middle finger and tore backward with the corner and the edge, and it cut straight down to the bone. Didn't even go to the hospital for that one. Just went and wrapped my finger in gauze, kept working till lunch, and then properly cleaned it and sterilized it and everything, and kept it wrapped up for a couple days. And yeah, that was fun too. That was one store. It was all from one store. I had all that bullshit happen to me. I really hated working there. Never, if you ever get, if you ever are, like, gonna work retail, never work in a, never work in a Home Depot in the lumber department. It is the worst department you could ever work in. 'Cause, yeah, it's a thing, definitely. No, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what else I can talk to you good people about. Outside of, like, dysphoria bullshit and not feeling well, I just haven't really been up to anything lately. Mostly because I've been really tired. Like, very tired. I got home, I think it was, what was it? Thursday? Or maybe it was Friday. I can't remember. My days are just, it's all one big blur. For me, today is Friday. Today is my last day of the week for work. So today is my Friday, but it's Monday right now, and I don't remember which day it was. I think it was Friday. I walked home from work, and I got home, and I could I collapsed. I took a shower, and then I collapsed in my chair, and I could not get up for hours. Like, I literally just could not stand. And it took me almost 2 hours to walk home that day, too, when I only lived 3 miles away. So yeah, it was, it sucked a lot. I don't know, like, my legs are not doing well. I really need to lose some weight. I guess that's what I get for always being large and then not understanding how to lose weight. I really don't. Like, I know I need to quit drinking soda and stuff, which I'm making strides in doing that, but I honestly don't know how to lose weight. I've never been able to in my entire life. Like, I've gained weight always, but I've always been large. I've always been, like, a really, really big girl. I mean, 6th grade, The summer between 6th and 7th grade, I went from being like 5 foot and weighing like maybe 110 pounds to like 250 and 6'1" over like the summer. And so nobody recognized me when I came back to school and stuff because I was completely different. And since then, I've just been freaking huge, and I don't understand like how to. And I mean, like, I went through a time where I was on the football team, so I was like super always doing shit. What you call it? I was always doing shit like working out and stuff. So I'm but even then I was still heavy because I was damn, sorry, I'm distracted by something. I was still heavy because I was like more muscly back then. Like I could do a leg press of 1,000 pounds easy. But I was still really heavy, so I'm not used to. I've never been light. I've never been somebody who could like be like, oh yeah, no, I can drop 20 pounds if I need to. I have no idea how the fuck to do that. I will attempt to, but I have no idea, and I'd like to, but fuck, where do I start? Like, I'm gonna cut out soda and start drinking a lot more water. Thank you, Cryotic, for getting me to look at Mio, because apparently that shit's amazing. I don't know, I haven't tried it. I can't find it in the fucking store is the main issue. I searched all over Walmart yesterday, could not find Mio anywhere. I also couldn't find the gallons of water, which was weird as well. I might have to stop at like a 7-Eleven for a gallon of water. Where the hell do they keep gallons of water in Walmart now? I know they used to sell it. It was not down the water aisle with all like the soft drinks and the non-alcoholic shit and not the juice. But I found like the packages of like bottled water and shit, but I could not find for the life of me the gallons of water. I just want a gallon jug, that's all. And then I can just refill it from the Brita filter here. But yeah, that was a thing. I'm just rambling, and this has been going on long enough to where I can justify saying, hey, I'm going to stop rambling at you. So, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. Last week was kind of heavy, sorry about that. This week started off with me talking about dysphoria and really hating being around people at work, so sorry about that. And I talked about injuries. Man, I am really just bad at this. Anyway, hey, if you want to talk to me, or at me, I guess, send me some tweets or whatever. Like, if you want me to talk about something specific on here, send me an email, me@gabbyharrison.com. I'm at Recurring V's on Twitter, Recurring V's or Consummate V's on Tumblr. I have both those. Reddit.com/r/recurring. No. Well, yeah, r/recurring V's, r/Spider Squid. I'm Recurring V's on there as well, so you can find that user. Yeah, I don't know. If you'd like to support this bullshit and a lot of other dumb things we do, like Hunted and our YouTube stuff, and hey, we have a new podcast coming actually. Van and Eli are starting a podcast of their own, and that will hopefully be up within the next week. They already recorded it. We're just trying to figure out stuff like not branding, but like cover art and shit like that. So yeah, if you like to support all of our bullshit like this and all the other things we do, head to patreon.com/SSP. Chip us $1 or $2 if you feel like it. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to be live streaming this week. I have 3 days off after today, so I'm going to live stream as much as I physically can, probably, outside of recording, because I need to do a lot of that, because it's going to get hot as fuck this week, too. So look for evening live streams once it cools down. Yeah, so I guess around 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, I guess. I don't know. I might do early morning live streams too, but not during midday because it's gonna be hot as balls this week. Why is it gonna be like in the upper 80s suddenly? Anyway, I should probably go finish getting ready for work and stuff. So, yeah. Have a nice day, everyone. See ya.